Hello everyone, welcome back to Digital Art Tutors YouTube channel, and this is the second tutorial of the Grasshopper video tutorial series. I believe that you have watched the previous introductory video which explained the basics and main components of Grasshopper. If you have not yet watched it, I would highly recommend you to watch it prior to this. I have put the link of the introductory video in the description section. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe and click on bell icon. So without spending much time, let's get started. Last time actually I explained you about the UI and the main components, how the Grasshopper is working. And today I'm going to show you an example which will represent a kind of algorithm which we can create inside Grasshopper. I will show you what would be our output using Rhino commands. First I'll take a circle, then I'll offset that circle using offset command. I'll take a 2. After that I'm going to extrude this outer circle. Using extrude command I can put both sides. So I can set distance as, let's say, 2 millimeter. Okay, so I will extrude the internal circle using extrude command. It would be more than in the length, and after that I am going to apply Boolean difference command. Okay, this is the simplest way of creating a kind of flat ring using Rhino commands. So same thing I am going to represent or recreate using Grasshopper, using Grasshopper components and parameters and all these relationship links and everything. So let's start that. So the first thing is, as I explained you last time, we can create a curve circle. To create a circle we can go to curve and pick circle. There is another way of selecting a command. Just go to this canvas, double click on that, then you can type the command which you need. So I would take this command. So you can see the component, circle components being added here, and also you can see it in the grid, how it has been created. Now, as I mentioned you last time, and I showed you how to create a circle using the circle component. For that we need to have 2 inputs. One is the point, that means the center of that circle, and the radius. Right, so for those 2 inputs I am going to create another input parameters. For the point I would take a vector. It would be a construct point, and I will link this one to this one, so you can see a circle being created. And since I want this in the center of the grid, I will not create any parameters to these XYZ inputs. If you want to see what are the values are, you can just right click on this input X label, and you can go to set number, and you can see it's 0. So all 3 inputs will be 0. Right? Okay. So the next thing is I need to create a input parameter to this radius. So I can double click and pick number slider like this. So I can set that to the integers, and I can give minimum and maximum here. Let's say I will take 5, and I will take 20. So this you have to commit it. Then I will link this parameter to this circle input. Now the circle being created, but I want this to be rotated by 90 degrees, right? Since this is oriented in top view, I want to get it oriented in this front view. So what I can do is I will take let's take rotate. So I will take rotate. This is rotate. Then I will link this output to this. And you can see this circle is getting copied and rotated by 90 degrees because the axis I have given, the default axis is X. That means this is the X axis. So the circle being rotated in 90 degrees in this axis. So I have two circles. So what I can do is I can hide this one. Just use your scroll button and you will pop up with this kind of menu. It has several commands, like you can enable preview, you can hide, you can enable, you can disable, you can bake this one. I'll later explain you what the bake is. And you can disable the solver, recompute. Likewise, you have a set of commands. In this case, I am going to select disable preview. So it will get disabled, but you will have the output as this. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to, as I showed in Rhino commands, I'm going to offset this curve using offset command. So I can do the same thing. Go to curve. You can take where is it? It's here under utilities. You can pick this offset curve command. Right. So it will take 4 inputs and it will output 1 output, right? So I have to give a curve here. So the output of this rotate command is a geometry, and you have the transform if you want. And so I'll just and also you need to give the distance. That means the offset amount, and the plane, and if you want to have some sharp corners or rounded corners or something. So in this case I will just input this one, and since there's a default value as 1, it will show you the offset, but I will give a number slider here. And I'll set that to integer and set minimum value as, let's say 2, maximum value as, let's say 6, commit it, and I can just give that to this input. Okay, so the next thing is can this one. Okay. So just right. The next thing is I'm going to extrude these 2 curves. Before that, so this will be the inner curve and this one is the outer curve. So before extruding, I'm going to create a surface. So you can go to params and you can pick the surface command. So this will output the surface using this curve. If I click here, so you can see the surface being created. Same thing I can do it here for this output again, or else you can copy this one and paste it. You can just link this one to here. So you can see there's 2 surfaces being created. And the next one is what I had to do is I had to extrude these two surfaces. You can pick extrude, it's on the surface, extrude straight. You can put it here. So the base would be the surface, and you can give the distance what you want. So I'll pick a number slider here. So again I will put this into integers and set the values. Minimum is, let's say, 2. So max is 3, and commit. So I'll put that here, and you can see there's an error. So if you go to this one, so data conversion failed from number to vectors. Since this is not the distance, actually it is taking the direction, so I can't put number side directly to this distance input. So what I'll do is I'll disconnect this one, just keep it apart, this slider. So to give the distance, I have to go to vectors and take now the extrusion has to be done in y direction. You can see the direction y is going this way. So I'll take unit y. So I'll put this input to here and this slider to here. Now you can see got extruded. So the same thing I had to do to the second surface. Okay. So I can take this one, this surface to here, and I can copy this extrude here, and you can remove you can disconnect the surface in this one. So the base, same thing, and I can copy this one, copy, paste. So I'll take this vector to here, and I can disconnect this one, disconnect, and I can copy this slider to here, and can give it to here. Okay. So the next thing is now this extrusion, the inner circle extrusion should be more than the this outer circle extrusion, otherwise you can't do the Boolean difference. So what I can do is I can increase this one. Sorry, I have to the maximum is 3, so I just 6. But the thing is, you can see now it is getting extruded only for one direction, right? So here I can do a kind of trick that once I extruded this inner circle, I'm going to move that circle to the other side, right? So for that I can pick from transform, let's take move command. Now it will take geometry, so this would be the output, and I link this one, and here I need to give the motion, that means the amount. Actually it would be another vector here, translation vector. So again I can go to vector, and it has to be in y direction. So I pick this one, and you can see now it is getting showed here. And for this one I'm going to pick another number slider. like this, and again I'll set that to integer. Again set value to, let's say, it has to be the minimum amount, should be, let's say, -2. Max would be again 3. Let's see. Okay, now just scroll this one. So I haven't linked that to this here. So you can see it is going from this side to this side, right? So once it's getting inside this one, so you can apply the Boolean difference command. Now this is the outer extrusion and this is the inner extrusion. Now this yellow thing is what we have done here using the vectors, and I have moved that to the other side. So the next thing is I'm going to apply Boolean difference command. So for that we have a command called solid difference. Okay, so the A would be the bigger part, I'll pick this one, and B would be the smaller one. Right. Now actually the difference being done, but you can't see because all these things are visible. So what I can do is I can hide this one, and this one also I can hide. All these things. These things I can hide. So this would be my final output as we did in Rhino, but still this one is not the geometry that we can use in Rhino. For that we have to apply an operation called bake. So what you can do is you can right click on this component and click on bake. Just press OK. Now you can see a Rhino model being created. So all these parameters are adjustable. You can change like this. After that, again you can do the bake. Again you can take a model. Likewise, you can do the adjustment here and there and take the output using these sliders. You can take it whatever you want. Okay, so I hope you understand the process of in Grasshopper, how we can create a geometry using parametric way. That means we are going to create an algorithm inside Grasshopper using parameters, components, and relationship, and we can output the expected output and we can bake it into a geometry which later we can use it in Rhino commands. So I will meet you in next tutorial, which again will be a kind of exciting tutorial, which will be a next step from this Grasshopper tutorial series. Until then, goodbye, and just keep in touch, and if you have not subscribed, just subscribe my channel to receive future videos. Thank you.